Off we go here. Both players have 36 viruses to clear off their boards. Kind of similar story here. Basically, kind of same volume as far as viruses go. Packy, what is your strat on a board like this?
Well, it's very scattered, and RNG has a tendency to kind of dictate your position in these kinds of boards. But the main thing, as always, is color diversity. This is a nice little double clear that Slay's going to get, who's taking an early lead here.
Yeah, 21 to 26 here. Slay definitely lowering the overall board elevation as going to get a tuck here and getting that blue garbage off the board. Smart play, opening up those blues, and can set up for a horizontal double on the bottom row. Meanwhile, Don Venier having a little bit of a struggle getting off the blocks here, needing blues to really start addressing that right side, starting to get him here, getting a bracket build down there in row, or rather column 3, and then getting a horizontal clear. That opens up that left side. It is 16 to 10 here. Dawn storming back here. It looks like, Packy, that it's a bit tough for Slay here to start accessing that left side.
Yeah, that left side is an issue, but now he has a couple of double clears available to him that will leave that a lot less problematic than it might look. He's just got that one virus on column 8 to worry about now, and he's going to be the first one out of level 8 here as soon as he gets what he needs. Come on,
Just
Doc.
needing that last yellow and out at a 141, holding on to a 7 virus lead. Don shaking his head, not particularly happy with the endgame setup that he has. Probably will have to clear that final blue out horizontally, and will have to find a solution, and does find it, decides to go for the garbage. And now just down to their final 4 viruses, and that clear is going to make it very easy here, and going to just spear that red down at the end here, just needing that final blue. Will Dawn, and Dawn is going to get it, and Dawn is going to be out at a 213 as it looks here. Slay holding onto a 12 virus lead.
Yeah, pretty tough start for Dawn. RNG just not cooperating at all. And looking at Slay's board, I really like it. It's a bit left heavy, but that left side still has a pretty good amount of color diversity.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the right side of your screen here, Dawn is starting to be forced to play a split board here, and that's particularly brutal given that there's a big cluster of viruses on that right side. So really specific pill combinations are important. But as I say that, Dawn's starting to address that right side, getting a good set of RNG, starting to take things down here. 24 viruses, or now 22 for Dawn, as Dawn's starting to set up, needing a lot of red and blue help, Packy.
Yeah, very little access to yellow. Opens one up in column 1, but he's also got some potential double clear setups here. This T is going to be a big help, and it's going to de-sandwich the blues in column 2 as well. Very timely double red as well. He is quickly closing the gap.
Yeah, 11 to 8 here, but as we say, the gap's being closed. Here comes Slay. Slay is going to need a required clear here. Looks like hoping maybe for the red, blue, or yellow, blue, getting it perfectly, and can elect to go horizontal, and does on both, getting the clear and then getting the yellow off the board out at a 341. The lead's narrowed, but not by much.
Looks like just one red fragment away for Don, and he's going to be out at a 351. A pretty good 9 after a really rough 8.
Mm-hmm. And
nice horse. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, Dawn here has a lot of great double opportunities. You'd love to see this as a speed player, and is looking maybe for that red-blue, and is going to get it. And look at that. Big setup starting to open up that left side of the board. Meanwhile, Slay is going to have to be a little bit particular in how they address what's going on here on this board. A lot of stuff, a lot of the viruses at high elevation, nothing on that bottom row. So drop time is going to be a significant factor, as well as you're probably going to see a lot more horizontal plays and deliberate garbage drops just to kind of pad that bottom row.
Yeah, the story of this game so far has just been Slay pulling away in the end game and Dawn pulling back in the early levels.
Mm-hmm.
So I like what Dawn has set up here. If he can clear out those blues horizontally in columns 4 and 5, it's going to set up the rest of his board pretty nicely.
And Dawn has taken the lead here. It is a 4-virus lead as Slay trying to solve this just dilemma here in the center of his board. Really starting to get things going here. But that blue garbage, I think, is going to be problematic moving forward. But now really starting to get things going here. Has good setups on most of the board. Has a good 0-drop clear right in the middle of the board, down to 8 to 6 here. It is going to be... Oh, and I just now realized that there was a misflip over on that right side for Slay. Slay is looking to correct it and is going to get free and clear essentially here if that red in column 7 goes out. It is 6 to 6, and look at this, Packy, a big combo.
Yeah. Love that. Excellent move by Slay there, and he is the first out of 10. So he has taken the lead back from Dawn during the end game.
Yeah, you were saying it. That end game is absolutely critical here, and we're seeing Dawn perhaps...
Dawn shaking his head because he wanted to put that yellow-blue in column 7 and 8, not 6 and 7. That caused him to have to go through a few more pills to get through his end game.
And it is a little rough here, especially on the starting 11. You know, now you're starting to see a lot of full lines of viruses or near full lines of viruses, which does help in terms of early play. You can kind of play 0 drops. And we are seeing Dawn just absolutely go to town here at the beginning of this 11. Was down by about 10, now is only down by 6, as Slay is may have made a little bit of a tactical error in column 2. Look, we see those red yellows stacked on top of each other opposite. It is a 6 virus advantage right now for every time we Slay. Slay has got to figure this out if they want to take game number 1. Meanwhile, Dawn Venier is at now just down by 3 viruses and is looking to take the lead and signaling a fat log setup in the middle of the board.
He needs a red-blue to complete it, and so far he's not getting it. And you got to think that he's only going to wait for so long because it's pretty late in the game, but it looks like he's finally got it. And with that, it is now tied.
And actually, as you say that, it was in 2 pills. We've had a 5-virus swing. It's now a lead here for Dawn Venier, 19 to 14 here on 11. It looks like Dawn has maybe figured this out. Going to get another big clear. Exploding log. I don't know what to call that. It was sticking out on both ends there. But it is 18 to 8. And you see here Dawn making smart use of the garbage. That red-blue is going to drop down and fit in nicely here, and now can go horizontal. This is a fantastic endgame for Dawn, who was not getting some until 11, but at a 7:47, Dawn soars into a win there and is now up 1-0. And I believe this is the first time a lower seed has won a game this tournament.
Wow, yeah, that end game for 11 was just super clean for Dawn. Did a great job keeping it nice and tidy and organized, and it was a really easy street as soon as he got what he needed.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal play here. And Slay has nothing to be upset about. Slay was playing a really, really good game. Just had a really, really tough 11 there, but was really just coming, kind of eyeballing when Dawn was coming and absolutely putting on the Jets when he needed to. They're going to just let that drop down. And there we go. Now we're going to start stacking it off for the top out, and there it is. So game 1 to Dawn Venier, and Dawn already signaling are ready for game number 2, and Slay is ready. So you know what, let's just get right into it. 3, 2, 1, and pills. We're here in our second game. My name's JB Henry. I'm joined by versus world champion Packy 619, or rather three-time champion. Little wrestling joke
Correct.
for you there. And we are here in the second game, levels 8 to 11, and Dawn Venier on the right side of your screen here, off to a pretty good start. A little bit of garbage on that right side, Packy, but still all good here, especially with that double yellow.
Yeah, he was trying to set up some horizontals on the right-hand side, and conflicting plans just kind of interfered with each other, and eventually he just dropped down his garbage on column 7. And if he gets, say, a double yellow to eliminate that yellow virus in column 8, then at that point it's really a non-issue.
Absolutely here. And Slay's starting to play a clean board, cleaner board here. There's a lot of garbage on both sides of this board, or on both sides of the screen rather. 17 to 15 here. Dawn holding on to a very slight lead, but as I say that, the lead comes right back to Slay. Slay getting that horizontal down. It's tied 13 to 13 now. A 1 virus lead. They're going back and forth here on this level 8. These players have to go through 8 to 11. They have to clear, I believe, about 326 viruses, all things considered, and they are really making work of it here. That 326 is probably wildly wrong, but hey, math's not my strong suit. Anyways, it's 3 viruses for Dawn, 2 for Slay. Slay's going to go horizontal and then vertical. Do you like that call, Packy?
Well, in Slay's case, he just needs red, and he's just not getting it. And when you don't get what you need, what can you do, you know?
You got to get creative out there. But Dawn was out first right around the 145 mark now, holding on to a 6 virus lead here. Not a lot of yellow on that top line, so Dawn is really going to have to be creative getting yellows here, and is absolutely doing that. Getting that nice combo. That was a beautiful combo. Great vision by Dawn Venier.
Yes, great vision by Dawn, and just great use of every pill that he's getting. He's going to need a whole lot of blue to address the left-hand side of his board right now. And increasingly it looks like, because you don't want to use that double yellow to eliminate the yellow fragments in column 6. You want to use those to get the viruses below.
Yeah.
So you're kind of left between a rock and a hard place, trying to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, some plays seem really easy to do short term, but they affect you long term. You really want to try to keep as much diversity out there as you can, and maybe using a double yellow to clear something, or 2 yellow, the only 2 yellows you have exposed, could be detrimental to you. So I think that was a good call here. I don't think that's a misplay by Dawn. I think Dawn's starting to pre-plan perhaps that bottom section of columns 1 and 2, but still needing yellow. And or rather, still needing blue, but this is a nice drop down here by Dawn, down to 8 viruses. Meanwhile, looking at Slay's board, look at that big cross. Absolutely opening up the end game here for Slay, needing a lot of red help and a lot of blue help here. Double blue's massive, and that's going to be huge. And that's actually not terrible for Slay. You would say, oh, well, they're going for the reds horizontally, but you see that there is that blue right above it. So really can start setting up here for a vertical clear and getting it, and now down to their final 3. Meanwhile, Dawn Venier is just stacking up here, but is going to be out at a 349, holding on to a lead, but they don't seem too happy about how that 9 went.
Yeah, I mean, when you see a big stack of garbage in the middle of the board, you know that they have not been getting what they need for at least 20 pills, and that's never a happy feeling for anyone. But Dawn has a very nice level 10 here to start with. This could go quickly.
Yeah, especially, maintaining some great color diversity here. Foregoing the 0 drop clear up top to now going to take it to set up in those bottom rows. It's a little bit scattered on the end game. I love that big T and then immediately following it up there. But look at this play by Slay. Slay down to 28, down by 10, but can really set things up here. Only 1 piece of garbage affecting their board, and it is 26 to 17 here, as Dawn Venier is going to be just setting up horizontals after horizontals after horizontals. Really nicely done, and now setting up for another set of horizontals. This is really, really great board vision we're seeing here by Dawn Venier. This is a blistering fast 10.
Absolutely annihilating this level 10 right now. He's been able to use just about everything he's been given, and now all he needs is 1 yellow fragment, and he's going to be out.
And he's going to get it out at a 5-10. That was, like you said, a blistering fast 10 there, and he's just 48 viruses away from going to the semifinal Sunday as a 6 seed. It would be our first upset, but it would still maintain the status quo of all of these matches being 2 games long, but not if Slay has anything to say about it. They're down to their final 9 viruses, and is going to get didn't see the triple, didn't want to go for the triple, but there was that horizontal triple there for the taking, down to 5 viruses here. Meanwhile, on this, on our right side, Dawn Venier, red heavy top line, very limited access to yellow. This is a little, when you get a board this split, it does get to be a little bit more difficult, Pack.
Yeah, I mean he needs reds and he's not really getting them right now. He's been able to use other pills for the most part, and that's a nice little D sandwich to get the no drop clear there.
And we're seeing Dawn's now starting to get creative with pieces they can't use. It was really good use of the blue yellows that were coming down, and now starting to address the spire situation on column 7 and 8. But Slay is starting to go for it here, maintaining pretty good diversity as far as the board goes. 35 to 19 here, and a good setup going here, setting up for that horizontal, getting the red or the red yellow as well set up and ready to go. 33 to 16 here, and it is fantastic play here on the left side by Dawn Venier, already down to their last 14. It's a 16 virus game, but Dawn making some really, really good combo setups.
Yeah, he's been making some pretty good decisions. You saw for a while that he was waiting for a specific pill to trigger that horizontal. He initially did that so that he wouldn't have to depend on a double instead of a two color pill.
Mm-hmm.
And right now he's really set up well for the end game. It's been a bit of a rough 11, but he's going to be out of it very soon at a 719,
which is a very good 8 to 11 time, and that will be game and match for Dawn Venier with the upset